Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Surface Pro Gaming. So, today on the original Surface Pro, I have decided to try out Wolfenstein The New Order? Yes, this is The New Order. I couldn't remember if it was The New Order or The Old Blood. But anyway, here's Wolfenstein The New Order running on the original Surface Pro. And the first thing I noticed is first off, VSync is on, but there's still a lot of screen tearing. But look at all those textures pop in. Everywhere you turn, you spin the camera around, you look someplace, you just see, look at that. The textures just pop right in. So definitely a lot of texture streaming going on. Either with the game or with the settings. And speaking of which, here are the settings I'm using. So, low, compress is enabled. That's a good thing. That medium is the lowest you can get. Everything else is either disabled or low. And I'm playing it at the lowest full screen resolution that I can do, which is 720. I did attempt this at 900 and 1080, but there's really no reason to, because 720 is kind of the best shot you get at running this game correctly. So here's just kind of the airplane, the cockpit scene from the beginning of the game. So let's jump to something a little bit more demanding. I also have a FPS counter in the top of the screen. I'm not sure, it's tiny, so I'm not sure if it's going to make it to the YouTube compression or not. But I can tell you kind of what it's doing, and right now it's kind of hovering around the low 20s, upper teens. It's kind of jumping around there. It will hit 30 or a little bit more in some spots. I gotta turn music off, actually, sorry. I don't want a copyright strike, but you're pretty much going to be just in your high teens, low 20s in this scene, so let's jump into something a little bit more demanding. So here we're going to jump out of a plane, and so I open the door, and lots of stuff going on, got some effects, got a lot of screen tearing, it's ridiculous. Frame rate is just taking a dive here, but it's kind of playable. So let's jump out real quick. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Alright. Now we're going to jump out once it tells me to. There we go. And running start, and we jump! There we are. Landed. Come on. Yeah, he got me. Yeah, but I'm not out of danger just yet. Look at that. Just the screen tearing galore here. And again, that is with VSync on. Wow. And frame rate is just taking a dive into the teens and low 20s. But yeah, kind of playable. So let's jump to some gunplay. Oh, actually, before we do some gunfights, let's go through that swimming part, because there's a part where you swim. So we're gonna take a look at that real quick. Oh, and I should mention that cutscenes are pre-recorded and they run at a very solid 30 frames per second. So there's that. Anyway, let's get to the swimming. And here we are swimming, and once again, it's kind of the same story here. You got, mid to upper teens, some low 20s going on, with a couple very low dips and a couple spikes here, and once again, screen tearing is rearing its head. Oh, there's a Bigfoot. Oh, wow, look at that. That stopped the game in its tracks for a second there. But we're going, and we're going, and we're going. So that's kind of what you can expect in this this part of the game where you're swimming. So enough of that. Let's shoot some guns and see what that looks like. So the first thing I'll show you, because it's the first part of the game where you get to use a gun, is we are in the turret and we're shooting down some mechano dogs. And once again, same old story. So you're going to pretty much see this throughout the entire video. The frame rate's going to hang around upper teens, low 20s, which, back on the 360 and PS3 days was playable. But of course, we expect more out of our games now, especially on PC, which is what this is running on, but still kind of impressive for the little Surface. And now we're going to walk around and shoot some guns, and once again, yep, you guessed it, the frame rate's going to be in the upper teens and low 20s with a lot of frame tearing. In fact, I'm playing it with the controller just because that's what I prefer, and I have auto aim. It has the auto aim assist with it, which is perfect for this, because with such a low frame rate, it's actually really hard to aim manually. I'm spinning around there. It's really hard to aim manually in this game, so the auto aim is on and it's helping, but even with the aim assist, it's a little bit hard to aim. And man, you can just see all that texture pop in happening on the fly. You shouldn't really see that in the game, but of course, this game doesn't really meet the minimum specs of the game. In fact, if you need a refresher, here are the specs of the Surface Pro. So it's running a dual-core 1.7 gigahertz Intel Core i5. It's the 3317U, and it actually does turbo boost up to about 2.5 gigahertz. And it's a dual-core, 4 threads. So I mean, it's got some power to it. It's a great workhorse of a system for doing just like business stuff, but not really for gaming. The GPU is a Intel HD Graphics 4000. It's a very, very old, at least in tech terms, a very old GPU, but it's, you know, it's doing the job so far. I got 4 gigs of RAM, and then it's a 64 gig version of it. But still, the specs aren't exactly outstanding. But you know, it's playing the game, and it's doing a pretty good job of it. For, you know, given the specs of the system. So this isn't what I would play the game on. I'd actually play it on my desktop, obviously, with my my GTX 1070, and have a great time with it. But it's kind of neat to see it running on this. So, you know, will the Surface run it? Yeah, it will. Is it playable? Well, yeah, it's playable, but set your sights a little low. Go in with low expectations, and you'll be satisfied. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Have a great day.